It's Michelle Caruana from Play Cafe Academy and Profitable Play. And I'm so excited for today's video because I have Tiffany, the owner of My Play Cafe in Kansas City, Missouri, here with me as my guest expert. And in this video, we're going to talk all about character events. Now, character events is something that has always been pretty popular for indoor playgrounds and play cafes, but has really taken off in recent months. And a lot of Playmaker Society members, including Tiffany, are seeing a lot of success with it. So in this video, I asked Tiffany how she organizes her events, how she prices it, how she sells it, how she executes the event, and her best tips and tricks, including what characters have been most popular and what characters she's hoping to add to her lineup in 2023. And Tiffany shares so many little nuggets of very valuable information in this video. So I really want to encourage you to watch the entire thing. But before we get into the video, I just want to quickly apologize. Number one, our recording setup was a little bit different logistically wise than it typically is. And I was also extremely sick during this video. So you can kind of tell my voice isn't really the same. I tried my best to push the interview as much as I could till when I was feeling better, but truthfully, I was down for the count literally all week last week. So we pushed it as far as we could, but I really wanted to get this information to you as quickly as possible. And I knew that Tiffany was the best person to do it. And I really wanted to do this before the holidays, and everyone's schedule got really, really crazy. So please forgive my sickness. I really did my best. And I tried to let Tiffany, the expert, do the speaking because, again, she has a lot of experience in this area and she plans to do, again, even more of it in 2023. So thank you so much for your patience and grace. This video is packed with high quality information from Tiffany. So again, I encourage you to watch the entire thing. But without further ado, here is Tiffany. Thank you so much for joining me today, Tiffany. I'm super excited for this.
Glad to be here.
So, do you want to just introduce yourself really quickly and let us know your business name so that we can all go follow you?
Yes. I'm Tiffany. I'm the owner of My Play Cafe here in the Kansas City, Missouri area. And we are indoor playground for ages 0 to 6.
Awesome. And I have absolutely been loving your social media posts lately. And the reason that I wanted to talk to you today is because I noticed that your character events have been really taking off and seem to be really popular. So I kind of wanted to explore that a little bit more. So, where did you kind of come up with that initial idea?
So when we first opened, it was challenging to find the right type of character. We did Princess Belle, we did um, several other ones, and the tickets just weren't selling out. Granted, we opened during COVID, so it was a hard time during that time, but just finding we finally found the characters that kind of meshed and that parents are super excited about that sell out within 12 to 36 hours. And that has been Blippy and Bluey. We tried Chase Paw Patrol. It did eventually sell out, but it wasn't like a hit. So just finding what is in the area um, has been really helpful about what the families want.
So, how do you decide to kind of either purchase a costume or outsource it to a local vendor? How do you kind of come to that decision?
Definitely. So when it comes to princesses, I think the character hiring it from a professional company is so important. I tried doing it without a professional company, and you can just tell the difference from the costume, from the interaction with the children, um, and just the look and feel. When it comes to a princess, they have to know and act like a princess. When it comes to the mascots, I started out renting it from a local company that rents mascots for the weekend at a really great price. And then I just hire a high school student or somebody who just wants to dress up and have fun for our sessions. And um, that worked really well for us, except no one in town has Bluey. And there are tons of options when it comes to costumes, but quality, you're going to pay for it. So you can go buy costumes on Amazon or eBay, but honestly, when they come, it's not always satisfactory. So when it came to our Bluey, he is amazing. Uh, we bought him off of Etsy and it was lots of pennies. But honestly, with 1 month of events with him, we already paid off the costume. And the fact is that Bluey belongs to us now. He can show up anytime at any events, and we can use it to fill up any gaps in our schedule.
Yeah, I love that. And people can kind of what you were alluding to, people can book him for parties or things like that as well. And it's a little bit more ready at your disposal when you own it.
Definitely.
And it's funny, I think Disney calls like the princess characters like face characters. So it's a little bit different of a commitment when you have somebody who actually has to be the face of that character, like a princess or like a Blippi. And yes, you're completely right. It's definitely a different level of commitment. So when you are putting together your character events, whether it be a princess or a Blippi or whether it be a mascot type event, what kind of things does that event entail?
So I always um these types of events attract a lot of new clients.
Okay.
So I want to have a time period where the children can come and acclimate to our space. And then characters, we pay them by the hour. So our events, we've run 2 hour events, but now with our characters, we run hour and a half events. And so 15 minutes of play, 1 hour of character interaction, and then just 15 minutes of kind of wrapping up and closing up. We always include a craft just in case, they don't want to keep playing in the play area. We have a craft, and then we always have a picture opportunity because once the character comes in, everybody wants to play with the character, which is great. And we allow that in the beginning. But everybody wants to take a picture. So we make sure to put that in our schedule and then do some sort of interactive fun with our character. And that really is the highlight.
Okay, so for that 1 hour, is the character just kind of like interacting with the kids, or do they do any like story times or anything like that with the kids?
So when it comes to the face person, like Blippi or princesses, we have them read a story and then play a game, or if they have some sort of corresponding dancing song, we definitely incorporate that, like Let It Go for Frozen, or um, Blippi, like theme song, freeze dance, some sort of movement. Um, Bluey's a little more difficult because Bluey doesn't talk. Mascots don't talk. So we have a staff read a book, and um, and then after that, we just try to do something gross motor. Like for Bluey, we did, what is it? Uppity? No,
I don't know.
keepy uppy.
I tried so hard to get my kids into Bluey and they just would not. So I have no idea. So,
And that was really funny because I mean, I really love Playmaker Society because honestly, Bluey's a hit right now, but I think many of us aren't into Bluey, or we don't have time, but maybe our kids are into it, but we don't know all these nuances of Bluey. And so it was really neat for us all to collaborate and be like, get the feathers, get asparagus, get some scarves for grannies, and balloons, keepy uppy, and I don't know these things, but definitely at our event, all the kids knew why we had these props, and it made it so special.
I think it was Michelle from the Treehouse. in
Yes.
New York that did like the Bluey, the full like Bluey event first, and she had all of
Yes.
those little tiny details because I know her kids are really into it. But yeah, I
And
just
and the episode sheets that she
yeah,
made, those are just like the little special touches, and we get to um build on a successful event that each one of us has.
yeah, and it's so good to hear that the kids really recognized everything and appreciated it because that's really when it comes down to it. That's really what matters is that the kids see all of those little details and really enjoy it. So, um, talking about putting the event together, I know there's, like we said, all those little details. How do you determine pricing for these types of events?
So definitely when first opening, I started at $30 an event. As I can see which events are more popular, I just start raising my prices a little bit by little bit. Blippy now is $40 and I had Bluey at $35. And honestly, um, in our town, I think Blippy was coming into town and he was going to be around that price, but you're not going to get that one-on-one interaction. We have Bluey coming in next June and people are already so excited about it, and those tickets are quite expensive as well. Um, but I think finding that sweet spot of uh, what parents are looking for, and then just providing that quality experience, and they're gonna post about it, tell people about it, and then um, I think that's how we can build our events. In the beginning, I had to give away a lot of events and or even half price to friends and family just to get that pick the a lot more children in and for the pictures for social media and just just kind of helping it grow that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you mentioned about the quality because that's something that I constantly look for as a parent. I know we have so many, this time of year, it's December, but we have so many Santa events and so many Grinch events and things like that. And I read a lot of these events and I see free or I see, something that's very low priced. And immediately I think, this is going to be very crowded. It's going to be very overwhelming. We're not going to be able to park. It's going to be very overstimulating. So I love the fact that you brought up that it's the quality of the interaction between the child and the character. Because for a lot of the events that people go to, like the Blippy Live, they don't get that one on one. They don't get that like close up interaction. So I love that you brought that up. So when you say $35, $40, is that per child or do you charge for adults as well?
So we charge per child. When it comes to the Blippi event, our max capacity that's comfortable for the amount of children in our space is about 15 to 18 children. So with our mascot, we stay at the 15 children. Um, but for Blippi, we have 18 children. And so, depending on the event and how many children we let in, depends on how many adults we let in. Typically, it's 2 adults per child, but when it comes to our Blippi event, we're very strict where it's only 1 adult per child, just so that we have enough room for the little ones to enjoy it. Because if we don't have enough seats for parents, then the adults will not be happy. So just finding that balance between, um, yeah, capacity limitations and such.
And then can the adults purchase like snacks or cafe drinks during that time as well?
So that has been something we've really pushed this year because last year we were having events and adults just weren't really buying drinks. my staff was not getting tips. And so this year, we've changed it where we put the kids' drink at the counter, and we have specialty drinks to go along with the theme. So we have a Blippy drink
Oh, cool.
for the adults, and it's really built a lot. And also, right now it's the holiday season, and everyone just wants holiday drinks. So just having specialty drinks at your events and driving parents to order, uh, it's available, but how do we encourage it has been um one of my goals of this year, and it has increased.
Great. I love all of the specialty drinks and posts and things like that that you've been sharing. And I love that they're themed to the event. That's so cool. So, the last thing that I kind of wanted to ask is I know you mentioned that last year, or rather the last 2 years, it was a little bit more difficult to sell out these events. So, have you done anything different when it comes to marketing to kind of sell these events out? Or are you feeling just like because you have a full email list, because you have social media followers, because you have an established customer base? What do you feel like has been kind of that key factor when it comes to actually selling these events out?
I think being able to have pictures of past events is so helpful. Parents want to see that their children is going to enjoy an event. So whether it be a photo shoot with the mascot, or getting a picture of the character and erasing the background and putting it in your play space, I think that speaks volumes to parents, knowing that, okay, this character is going to look like this, and it's going to be at my play cafe. And then just posting on social media. I love that they have a link button now. So I put my events link in there, and then I say, get my tickets.
I love that. And have you seen an increase in parties booking characters and things like that as a result of your mascot events?
So we have had a lot of inquiries. We did have a child that booked Blippi for his birthday party. So that was super fun. And then we have, since Bluey has launched, we're also doing a Bluey party here shortly. And it's just wonderful. We are adding it to our add-on list so that as parents are booking parties, they can just click the button and say, I would like to request Bluey. I would like to request Blippi.
That's awesome. So, um, I know we kind of talked about like what goes into the event. We talked about pricing and things like that. What's one thing that you do differently now that you didn't do at the beginning that you think maybe helps the events run smoother? I'm just curious.
I think staff feedback is the most important. As the business owner and also trying to work the numbers, sometimes we push it a little bit. Like I've seen, and also just hearing what other people are doing might not necessarily work for my staff. Like, the turnaround time. I was like, we can do a 15-minute turnaround time. We just have to refresh things. And my staff did not like that at all. And you know what? They're the ones that are working it. And it's okay to have a 30-minute flip time. That just gave them a little bit more breathing room, and just listen to the staff's feedback. Like, um when the drink orders are the most busiest during our timeline, and what can we do to make it better. That was so helpful for me, this year, just hearing the feedback from staff and also from the characters. I always ask 3 questions after any event, and most parties I'll ask, what was one thing that went well, one thing that was challenging, and your favorite moment. And I always get really good feedback from that, because it's different from asking, how did it go? That's very open ended, and can be overwhelming to some people. But by asking those 3 questions, I'm able to get a better picture of how things went.
So you asked that to the character or to the customers that attended? To the
Oh,
character.
I asked it to the character and my staff. After every event, I do send out an email, a survey, and um, almost, I would say 95% has always been positive feedback, just thanking us for hosting the event and how amazing it is and how much they love all the details. And then I remember like our Easter egg, they're like, there's just too many older kids and my younger kid couldn't get Easter eggs. Well, the staff had a different story on that. But just being aware of um, parents' perception and just being proactive about we also had one about Blippy. They're like kids were elbowing and trying to get to like elbowing each other in each other's faces. And I don't really, it's like you can only take it so far. It's like as a parent, you could pull your child back and give Blippi some space. But from that, my takeaway was to have picture time with Blippi earlier so that each child can have that one-on-one time with the main character.
Yeah, and so maybe that the parents don't feel like as stressed, like, oh, we have to get the picture, we have to make sure so that if you get it out of the way earlier, they can maybe relax a little bit and just kind of
Definitely.
the interaction go. But I love that you brought up asking the staff how they feel because I think so many of us really just only focus on the customers and focus on the paying clients. And I think it's a lot of that does a disservice to our staff, our businesses, and our customers because if the staff isn't happy, they're not going to be able to put on, as successful of an event. People aren't going to enjoy themselves as much. So I love that you put so much stock into understanding how the events went from a staff's perspective. So I absolutely love that you brought that up. So, is there any event or any character or something like that that you are looking to add on?
You know, I don't like Coco Melon, but I think if I got JJ, baby JJ to come in, I think that would be a really good seller. I did take a poll on my VIP page and Bluey was number 1 and JJ Cocomelon was number 2. I just can't find myself to put on the event, but I know when I do, our local mascot company has JJ, and so I don't know. We'll see.
It's nice that you can kind of test the waters a little bit and hire them before you actually like purchase the costume yourself if you do decide to do that.
For sure.
All right, well, thank you so much. So, just to kind of, I'm sure everybody is wondering, but where can we learn more about your business?
You can visit our website at myplaycafe.com. We are very active on social media. Instagram is My Play Cafe. And then on Facebook, you just have to put My Play Cafe KC for Kansas City, and you'll find us. But we do a lot of posts on our social media, and we really enjoy sharing what we do at My Play Cafe with everyone.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I will link all of those social media accounts and the website. So I am really looking forward to learning more about your business.
All right. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. All right. Well, that wraps up my interview with Tiffany. I hope you got a lot of great takeaways from this video. I know I did. So I'm really excited to share it with you today. And if you learned one thing or something surprised you, or there's one thing that you're going to implement, I'd love it if you would comment under the video because I love bringing you these guest experts, but I really want to know exactly what about these interviews benefits you. Again, what you're taking away from it. It really helps me to create great content and exactly what you want to see and exactly what you're going to be able to implement in your current or future space. All right, have a great day. Thank you so much to Tiffany. Again, all of her website and social media accounts are linked under this video. Again, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I will see you right back here shortly with another video. Have a great week, guys.